Welcome back for practice 47. This one is on page 54 of your workbook, and it's talking about dot plots, histograms, and box plots. So if you haven't watched the lesson video on this one, please do that first because that's going to help you to understand what we're doing here. This is a practice video, not an instructional video. Numbers 1 through 5 use the histogram that's shown here. And the histogram shows the number of photos taken in one day by a group of people on a tour bus. So we're comparing the tourists and the number of photos they took. So on the y-axis, that's over here, these are the number of people. So we have 0 people, 5 people, 10, 15, 20. And then on the x-axis, we have the number of photos they took, ranging from 0 to 39. And the histogram is showing you 4 intervals, 0 to 9 photos, 10 to 19 photos, 20 to 29 photos, and 30 to 39 photos. So I'm going to, bear with me, I'm going to erase this for just a second so I can take a screenshot of this. And then I will bring back those colors. Okay, number 1. Whoa, that's a big graph. So let me just shrink him down here and make a picture of that. How many people take fewer than 10 photos in one day? All right, fewer than 10. So let's look at our interval up here. And that's going to be right here. Let me do it this way. Got to get it straight. There's the 10. Whoa, I don't need it to be that huge. Fewer than 10. So we are looking at less than 10. That's down here. And that is going to be 5 people. That bar goes up to 5 people. So for number 1, I like B. Which bar shows a person who takes 37 photos? Which bar shows a person who takes 37 photos? Okay, think about where that person would be on this graph. If you take 37 photos, you are in this interval right here. It's in that 30 to 39 interval. So we want to name that bar, the 30 to 39 range. How many people take between 10 and 29? So let's get our interval marked off. Here's 10. And here's 29. So we're interested in this space between these two bars, the 10 and the 29. Well, the 10 to 19 is 15. The 10 to 29 is only 10. And those two together are 25 people. So the answer to, is it number 3, 25. Which 2 groups have the same number of people? Well, I'm going to let you look at this and then I'll move it. Which 2 bars are even? The 0 to 9 and the 30 to 39. They are exactly the same height. So the 0 to 9 and the 30 to 39. That would be option A for number 4. how many more, that's a subtraction phrase, how many more people take 10 to 19 photos than 30 to 39 photos? Well, let's look at 10 to 19. That goes to 15. 30 to 39 is only 5. And how many more is subtract? So we are looking at B, 10 people. And that is reading a histogram. Use the box plot for items 6 through 10. The box plot shows the wait time for a table at the restaurant. And so if we study this out, we've got the wait time in minutes. So you can wait from 5, that's the minimum, to 15 minutes at this restaurant. And then the box is showing us where the data lie on this box plot. Number 6, if you've watched the instructional video, this will make sense. What is the first quartile of the data? Well, when you see first quartile, think of the left end. So if you look at this box plot, we've got the first quartile at 7. What is the median of the data? Now this is the thing, I like these. They take getting used to, but I like them. Let me show you. The median is so easy to see. I have no idea what that was. Let me just erase that until I get a snapshot here. And actually, let me just put them in each time, because this is different. You don't see these a lot unless you are, if you go on to college or anything where you deal with statistical stuff, you will see them. So remember the median. I'm sorry, the first quartile. I'm getting all excited. Here's the first quartile. So that's the 7. The median is that vertical line. So wherever the median is, you will see this vertical line right there. There's your median at 10. You look for that vertical line and you'll know your median. You don't have to figure it out. It's already done for you if you know how to read the box plot. So number 7 should be D. Number 8, what is the third quartile? Well, if first quartile was left side, third quartile is right side. So when it asks for the third quartile, it's the right end of the box. So it is at 11 minutes. Number 8 is 11. What is the shortest wait time in this data set? Now be careful. Be very, very careful. It's going to, how do I explain this? You've watched the instructional video, so this shouldn't be too bad. The least value here is a 5. A lot of people want to tell me 7 because that's where the box starts. But you want to actually look for the lowest dot that you can find. So because of this dot right there, I'm going to say this is a 5. There is the lowest, shortest wait time. So number 9 should be A. Let me check it and see. Yes. So what would the longest wait time be in this data set? Okay, be careful. It's not going to be 11 because it's not just about the box. The greatest wait time is 15. So don't focus just on the box. The box is important, but it's not the only thing that you have to look at. Okay, number 11 is another dot plot. It says use the dot plot for items 11 through 16. So this whole page looks like, no, we've got two. Okay, the dot plot shows the number of days people read a newspaper in 1 week. So we have the newspaper read, that's the main idea, the number of days, and here we go. How many people are included in this data set? Well, do you remember how to get that answer? What have we done up to this point when we needed to know how many people? You count the X's. So let's count them up. There are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 22 people are included in this data set. What is the median number of days people read a newspaper? Be careful. You can just look at this if you know what you're doing, but I strongly recommend still listing them. You have 5 in the 0 category. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 ones. Two twos, a 3, a 4, 3 5s, no 6s, and 3 7s. Stop and count. Make sure you have 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, I do. So the middle, if you do 22 divided by 2, that would be at 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's the middle. And you see that there are ones on both sides, so 1 day is your median. How many people read the newspaper more than 5 days a week? More than 5. So we're not counting 5. We're going more than 5. So I like to put in that line at more than 5. And then the interval is above that. So we're counting X's over here. And that's only 3. So number 13 is B. Number 14. How many people do not read the newspaper? Now it's tempting to look at that 6 because there's nothing there. But this is saying how many newspapers are read, and there are 0 newspapers read. If there's 0 read, you don't read the newspaper. So we're looking for how many said, I spend no time reading the newspaper. And that's 5 people. I would be one of them. I don't read the newspaper. So I would be one of those X's above that 0. All right, number 15. Which three statements are true about this data? No one reads the newspaper 6 days a week. That's true. If it were not true, I would see X's above the 6. No one reads the paper 7 days a week. That's not true because I see that 3 people do. We have 3 X's there, so that means 3 people. More people read the newspaper 1 day a week than read the newspaper 5 days a week. So this is saying that more people, that 1 is bigger than 5, and that is true. Because look at the height of the 1 column as opposed to the height of the 5 column. So for number 15, I'm looking at A and, there are 3 of them, sorry. A and C are 2 of them. More people read the newspaper 0 or 1 day a week than any of the other numbers of days. That's true because those are the 2 highest columns. The number of people who read the newspaper every day is equal to the number of people who never read the newspaper. Well, every day would be 7 days, so that's 3 X's, but that's not greater than the zeros. And the number of people who read the newspaper 2 days a week and the number of people who read the paper 4 days a week are equal. That's not true. 2 and 4 do not have the same number of X's. So for 15, the 3 answers are A, C, and D. I almost stopped too soon. I thought it wanted 2. Number 16. How many people read the newspaper exactly 2 days each week? So let me bring this in. Exactly 2 days. How many X's? 2. And those X's represent your people. So I would say 2 people read it 2 days. Number 16 is B, as in boy. Which type of graph has intervals? That is a histogram. And let me show you again what I mean by intervals. Let me borrow this fella. These can show up on science tests quite often, so don't be surprised if you see that. Here's what we mean by intervals. Here's an interval from 0 to 9. Here's an interval from 10 to 19. Ages are done like this quite often, where you might ask people to list their ages and you put them in intervals. Instead of making a line for every single age, you just group them into these intervals. And that's what that's called. This one has 4 intervals, and that's a histogram. And number 18. Which of these is not shown on a box plot? So let me borrow this fella right here, and I'll help you see this one too. Okay, on the box plot. So here's our box plot. And we want to know which of the parts is not shown on here. The median. Well, that's on there. The median is this line. The first quartile is the 7 in this case. The third quartile is this one. Frequency is not shown on the box plot. Frequency is when you have this kind of thing or the X's or the dots, that is a frequency kind of thing. And that is not shown on a box plot. I really like this practice because it's giving you some practice with all different kinds of graphs and thinking in different ways. If you're a visual learner, you probably love this. If you're not a visual learner, if you're an auditory learner, you may not care for this at all. So it's good for all of us, though, to think about different ways of expressing data. The next video is the review for this chapter. This was a very short chapter, but we covered a lot of ground. So I will see you very soon for that review, and I hope you have a great day today. Bye-bye.